Welcome to Mental Models Daily, where we explore one mental model each day to help you elevate your daily decision-making. Today, we're examining a strategic concept with origins in military history, the two-front war. The two-front war mental model refers to a situation where an entity, be it an individual, organization, or nation, is faced with the challenge of having to address and manage two significant simultaneous threats or challenges. This concept gained prominence during World War II, when Nazi Germany found itself fighting on two major fronts against the Allied forces in the West and the Soviet Union in the East. Let's look at the historical example of Nazi Germany's two-front war. After the initial successes of the German Blitzkrieg in the early years of the war, the tides began to turn as the Allies in the West and the Soviets in the East both mounted formidable offensives. Germany's resources and military forces were stretched thin, forced to divert attention and troops between the two fronts. This ultimately proved to be a strategic weakness that contributed to the Nazis' eventual downfall. The inability to concentrate their full might on a single front, coupled with the strain of having to defend against attacks from multiple directions, was a key factor in Germany's defeat. The two-front war mental model highlights the inherent vulnerability of having to divide one's resources and focus in this way. In the business world, the two-front war concept can also be highly relevant. Consider a company that is simultaneously facing disruptive competition in its core market and a rapidly changing regulatory environment in a key geographic region. Attempting to address both of these challenges simultaneously, without the luxury of focusing its full attention on either, can put the company in a precarious position. Similarly, an individual might find themselves dealing with the dual demands of a high-pressure job and a personal health crisis in their family. Trying to juggle the competing priorities and allocate limited time and resources between the two fronts can be tremendously taxing and increase the risk of failure on both sides. So how can we apply the two-front war mental model in our daily lives? Firstly, it's crucial to be able to identify when you're facing a two-front war scenario. Be attuned to situations where you're being pulled in multiple directions, with no clear path to concentrate your efforts. Secondly, consider strategies for eliminating or minimizing one of the fronts, even if temporarily. Can you delegate, outsource, or deprioritize one of the challenges to free up resources for the other? Decisive action to resolve one front can be the key to success. Finally, develop contingency plans and the flexibility to shift your focus as needed. Recognizing that the balance of threats may change over time and being ready to adapt accordingly can make the difference between triumph and disaster in a two-front war. In conclusion, the two-front war mental model serves as a powerful reminder that we must be vigilant in identifying and addressing multiple simultaneous challenges. By understanding the inherent risks and vulnerabilities of this scenario, we can take proactive steps to strengthen our strategic position and increase our chances of emerging victorious, even in the face of daunting odds. Thank you for joining me today on Mental Models Daily. Until next time, may your fronts be few, your resources be ample, and your strategic vision be clear. For more mental models, please visit mentalmodelsdaily.com or find us on X or Instagram. Our podcast music was provided by thepodcasthost.com and Alitu, the podcast maker. Find your own free podcast music over at thepodcasthost.com/free music.